And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to another episode of this freaking show, the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. I'm your host, Travesty, and alongside me,
Awkward Colin.
And Geekcast Joe.
Happy New Year's, guys.
Happy New Year's!
2016, so far so good for everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, today's been the best day of it so far.
Oh.
Why is that?
I've been recovering from strep throat since like Tuesday last week.
Well, that's always fun.
So today's like the first day that I've had any energy to do anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
What'd you do for New Year's? I noticed you didn't stop over at the house.
I went to bed at 9 o'clock.
Nothing wrong with that.
So the wife went down to Indiana. I ordered a pizza, and I went to sleep.
Nice, nice.
Now, if I remember right, I thought you were getting Chinese food.
Oh, man, that sounds really good right now.
Oh, I was going to get pizza rolls.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't feel like driving to the store, so I just ordered a pizza instead.
Good idea.
Any New Year's resolutions you guys have for 2016?
No. Continue in school.
Yeah, I don't have any either. Although I did like, I don't know if you guys read the webcomic Lunar Balloon.
No.
It's pretty fun. I enjoy it. Or Lunar Baboon, sorry. Spelled it wrong.
Yeah, either
in
way.
my head.
Don't.
Let me see if I can find it. I love this here. Every year I make one of these stupid lists of New Year's resolutions, and every year I fail. Let's hope this year is no different. And he has a picture of his New Year's resolutions, and it says, 1, get fat, 2, never exercise, 3, start smoking. And then it cuts to February, and his son is saying, you're doing terrible this year. And he says, I know, and he's like lifting huge weights.
Nice.
So that would be great. I mean, that's kind of how I feel. Like I've never kept up with a resolution.
Yeah.
So
Either have I. I mean, it's just some stupid thing to say. In my opinion.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it stupid. I mean, it's a goal that people put forth throughout the year. I mean, it's stupid to say it and never, commit to it.
Yeah, that's what I do. So.
yeah, that's my problem. I'm stupid for making them. Other people who actually succeed at them are not stupid for doing that. In fact, I tip my hat to them.
Well, hopefully, I think the only resolution I made this year is to just, I guess, do more than what I did the year before. Just like, whether it be, the podcast or working with Matt on his band, doing stuff around the house, hanging out with Cooper.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super duper.
I think that's my way. I mean, yeah, I guess that'd be my resolution. Doing more, being involved in more stuff.
It's the way to go.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's better than sitting around doing nothing that I have since I bought the house. Well, you guys excited for our show tonight?
I am.
I am excited.
Continue off
I'm really looking forward to continuing our
part 2 of the zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, let's get our guest on here so we get this all started.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Get him on here.
So this actually got pushed ahead, didn't it?
I believe so.
Pushed forward.
I think we were looking at doing this 2 weeks from today.
Yeah.
Ish. 3 weeks from today, maybe? I forget.
Next week?
Next week.
Oh, it was next week?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
the original plan was to have F and Epic on tonight, and then unfortunately with what would you call it? Scheduling conflicts.
Uh,
They weren't able to make it on today, so we were able to contact Graham here and get him on the show today.
sounds like a good plan.
Groovy.
Show.
Oh, is he sleeping?
I better not be.
What up, dog?
There he is.
Hey, we got him.
Woo!
How you doing, sir?
Not too bad, man. I've now frozen all 4 of my other Skype accounts.
How exactly are you freezing them?
I'm not quite sure. Probably the lack of clarity between names and passwords.
So you're just getting locked out of them.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I don't really care. I'll just keep doing what I do and make a new one every time.
I guess that's a way to do it.
I feel like that happens to people a lot anyway, just because Microsoft does that.
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. It sucks because I have so many devices with so many passwords. It's just like, oh crap.
Yeah. I've simplified it. I've got, I think, 4 passwords.
Nice, nice.
See, I
They're
did
all
that
like for
time.
specific things.
I got hacked really bad by a friend that I thought was a friend that turned out to not be a friend. So,
Yeah, I'm waiting for that shoe to drop.
yeah, it's not fun, man. She took a lot
believe
of
it.
money.
That sucks.
Yep. How's your holidays, guys?
Good, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Pretty uneventful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How's yours?
Not bad. I spent most of it at ExxonMobil.
Ooh. I remember those days.
Yeah. Well, the worst part is that it was like probably the 7th year in a row I've actually been at Exxon during most of the holidays.
Yeah, that's true because you worked actually for Exxon.
Yeah. I regret that.
Well, nice. The holiday pay though.
True, but now when I go there, it's kind of like a trap house where it's just kind of like, wow, just get me in and don't talk to me anymore.
Is Cheryl still there? I think that's what her name was.
No, man, they bounced her out. She said some inappropriate things. Well,
They always called her a bird.
she looks like the Slowskis, man.
Like what?
She looks like the Slowskis from the Comcast commercials.
I do not know.
The turtles.
Nope.
Oh.
They had
I forgot about those.
Tell me I'm wrong, Travis.
oh god, no. She definitely looked like kind of reptile, or some kind of like bird. She was an eye.
She was a character for sure.
Nice.
I hated working with her. She's interesting. But no, she's gone there. They replaced everybody with all new people.
Really?
Oh yeah. And I'm fairly certain at some point one of them is going to offer to sell me a methamphetamine.
It's just what you need.
Oh man, yeah. That'd be fantastic. Whoa. So,
You guys remember?
what is the plan tonight?
I think this show, we're kind of gonna talk a little bit more about, zombie plans. What our ideal plan would be if the apocalypse was to happen. We're gonna get more into like the movies and the TV shows to kind of give
Awesome.
you what people are believing zombies to be, and, like, their perspective, I guess. And, if we want, we can nitpick, certain ideas on certain movies and stuff like that. And just, I guess, bullshit on, different scenarios and see how we would react to them, really.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Gotcha.
Well, if you guys remember, because I've talked about it a couple of times, But I said at the end of last time we were here together, wanted us to break down certain things that we would need in case of apocalypse, like a vehicle, a weapon, a location, and one of the biggest obstacles you think you might face. Does everyone do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Graham, since you are the expert, would you care to go first?
Sure. My location would be somewhere in the UP, preferably an island,
University Park.
Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Oh, that's safer.
Well, one of my reasonings for that is everybody's going to go south where it's warm.
Mhm.
Have fun with that. I'm going to go north because I'm built for cold.
Breach.
So, plus with proper planning, there's no reason you can't be,
Yeah.
living other than just surviving. You could probably thrive up there, Since we don't actually know for sure, some of those temperatures up in the UP get, like negative 70 degrees,
Yeah.
Maybe they would just freeze, and as they start thawing, they break apart and with less zombie to deal with. But yeah, the UP, no particular town, preferably an island, because they have some really cool islands up there that they have like multi-million-dollar houses on.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as a vehicle goes, I've got very, very specific on what I would want. I would want a 1986 Jeep Grand Wagoneer on 38s with a front and rear 5K winch, and preferably a multi-fuel diesel motor, but I would take the original AMC 360.
Yeah.
And the third question you asked is the one weapon, and I kind of hate you a lot for that question, Travis, because it's probably the hardest one to answer. I'm kind of like tore up really bad because I really love my 12 gauge, but I really love my battle axe. But I think I'm gonna have to lean more towards 12 gauge because you said unlimited ammo.
Oh, he did say unlimited ammo, didn't he?
I can leave you high and dry with 12 rounds or something like that. Nah, I don't know.
Yeah, my 12 gauge is very specific as well. I would take a Remington 870 modified with a ghost ring sight, and I would not break it down to an 18 inch. I'd preferably like a 22-inch barrel, 7+1 pistol grip, 6-point stock. That's the way I would go with something I could buy. If we're talking like I could have anything, it would be a AA-12,
Oh,
12
nice.
gauge. But
Automatic shotgun.
yeah. I saw one modified to take this massive drum. I think it was like 150 rounds in that drum,
Oh wow.
and it took like 19 seconds to be empty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just,
Jeez.
that was incredible. And nothing in life will ever compare to that moment. I watched that video. But yeah, 12 gauge I have, 870. 12 gauge that I could potentially find, AA-12. This was another hard question. You asked how many people I would want in my group. And after a lot of deliberation, looking over my own group, I would say the ideal group of people would be between 25 and 50.
25, 50.
Yeah. My reasoning would be because if you could get 5+ people that are somewhat useful with a weapon,
Uh-huh.
you'd be able to run some sort of like watch while people slept or, did what they had to do on the day-to-day life, like forage and personal hygiene and such. I don't think any more than 50 would be reasonable because then you're looking at a massive amount of food. Not something you're going to like scrape together, running from convenience store and such, doing your regular scavenging. Plus, you might actually be able to hide 50 people to answer the fifth question, the biggest obstacle, the remnants of government or people that were able to get to military equipment before, say, my group was. Because I'm not planning on trying to get into a firefight with somebody who, I don't know, commandeered an Abrams or a Bradley assault vehicle. Doesn't sound like a good time to me.
Yeah.
Solid point.
So, but I think in a group between 25 and 50, you should maybe be able to hide, or a good portion of people should be able to hide.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Maybe anybody skilled with like horses or off-roading could make it look like it, create a diversion and make that group go after them instead of after the main group or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the answers to your question.
Very good.
I'm curious to see what Colin would pick as far as weapon and vehicle, to be honest with you.
John, you're up.
Me?
Yeah.
Wow. Because I just kind of jump around if this ever came to it. And I always change it. I don't have one direct set thing. But at the current moment, my vehicle would probably be an armored out semi-truck with a connected cab.
War wagon.
Yeah, pretty much.
That'd be sweet.
I mean, when you say weapon, does that mean one individual weapon, like a long arm, and then a sidearm?
No.
The way I took it was
One weapon.
one weapon, period.
One weapon, period. Shit.
Right?
That's hard. I mean, because... Okay, well, what if something comes close? Then you... Right up on you.
See, I pegged you as a SIG pistol or a Beretta M9 kind of guy.
Yeah, but that's not going to do anything.
You can pistol whip them.
Yeah, I mean... but they have to get close to you.
I don't know. I see you as a SIG 226, 227 kind of guy.
But I would probably say like a Barrett 50. And then probably up in the mountains of Washington. And the reason I say that, like...
Rambo.
up north, colder. More than likely, it would be slower for zombies to move, in my opinion.
See, we need to specify what kind of zombies we're talking about because we have the fast ones from like 28 Days Later, which in that case I'm screwed because my cardio is not that strong. Or are we talking like Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, like slow?
Yeah.
Or are we talking like Z Nation where they're fast when they're first created, but then they slow down and as they become older and such?
Yes.
That's
Thank
such
you.
a helpful answer there.
Was it yes any of those or yes the last one?
All of them.
That leaves us at the same point.
Yeah, we're all screwed because our cardio is not strong.
We're into account that we have to decide on a limited supply in a very bad situation.
Can I just strap Alan to me and use him as a meat shield?
Yeah, but
Until he bites you.
if you're worried about running based on cardio and you're adding an extra 100 and something pounds to yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping like if I fall, they just eat Alan.
Yeah, you're gonna stop at just Alan. Like, oh, okay, I had enough Alan. I'm full. I'm going home.
Hopefully.
Well, if I'm really quiet, yeah, I get you, man.
Uh,
Um,
He's gonna listen to this and he's gonna be like, "Man, I thought Graham was my friend." Alan, if you're listening to this, we are friends. I just sometimes want to throw you off a tank.
yeah.
Putting it out there.
It's an opportunity you may get in the zombie apocalypse.
What the hell is that noise?
that is Cooper chewing on a squirrel.
Squeak.
Nice.
Nice.
Koopa Loop. All right, so who's next?
Yeah.
Colin, you answer all of them?
Yeah.
How many people, Colin?
Oh, people.
And biggest obstacle?
So what? So what exactly is the people?
How many?
How many in a group you'd be comfortable with?
Oh, probably about 5 to 10.
You're dead.
So.
All right. Well, what's the biggest obstacle you think you're gonna face during this?
Uh, biggest obstacle, I would say probably out scavenging.
Hey, Jen. What would you run across scavenging? That would be the issue.
I don't know. Well, I just mean like distance from stuff. Versus if you are located within the town. If you're in a town, it's going to be a lot easier to locate stuff versus being in the mountains.
Gotcha.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But then I
Because
am
you picked the
also
mountains, this is
driving a semi truck, so I could definitely have that packed full of stuff.
Well, they do have a lot of logging roads in those logging towns up in the mountains in Washington and Oregon. Okay.
Joe, how about you?
let's see, vehicle. I'd probably just want something like a small pickup truck, like a Chevy S10 or a Ford Ranger. Something that's going to get me to my destination, and then I don't have to worry about it anymore or ever again.
Why would you pick the teenage girls of trucks?
Because I
Don't tell your
don't
dad
want
I
to.
said that either, because I don't
Well,
want
no,
to
I just
when I see
yeah,
him
no,
again.
that's excellent. I didn't even think about that. I don't want to have to worry about gas mileage as much, which, in my experience, is less of a problem with a smaller truck. And since the safe house that I've planned is like 3 hours away from me, that's as far as I need to go. Which I guess at that point I could drive a bigger truck, but I feel like people are going to be trying to steal a bigger truck from me, and I'm not going to be able to fight them off. Whereas people might ignore me if I'm in a little shitty thing that is beat up and just packed with stuff.
Gotcha.
So, I think my weapon of choice would probably be either like a mace or a sledgehammer or something like that, because I am an awful shot with a gun. And you don't have to aim very hard. You don't have to be good at aiming things when you've got a blunt object, which I'm pretty happy with.
Have you ever used a hammer and a nail before?
Have I what?
Have you used a hammer and a nail before?
I have, and I'm pretty good with it.
Okay, because it does require some hand-eye coordination, some
True,
aiming.
true. But I feel like Gallaghering it with a head-sized watermelon or vice versa
That'd be pretty cool.
would be pretty. It'd be pretty cool, and I think it'd be a little bit easier than a nail with a hammer.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and if you miss, you still hit him in the chest or something, which could slow him down.
Or go through them.
Right. Exactly.
I like
So
that.
I'd feel safer there. Yeah, ammo would be wasted on me. I would miss everything unless I had like something that could mow things down really easily.
Or like a blunderbuss.
Yes, exactly.
That would be cool too.
That would be badass. Um. Oh, My safe place is there's a little farm in a town near my family in Indiana. That is, we actually have a plan for how we're going to turn it into a compound.
Okay.
That would have probably 30 to 60 people total living in it.
Okay.
I think the optimal like scouting party is 6 to 12 people because it breaks up into, you could be as small as a group of 2 or a large group. You know what I mean? Like you could break
Right.
down into 6 small groups or 3 groups of 4 or 4 groups of 3 or,
Gotcha. I got
whatever.
you.
That way, at least you can still have kind of like an accountability buddy at all times,
Right.
while still having a big enough group that you're not going to be completely wiped out quickly, hopefully.
I like that long range reconnaissance patrol style. I got
Yep.
that.
Yep. What was the last question?
Biggest obstacle you
Oh,
could encounter.
let's see. For me, the biggest obstacle would just be cardio. Cardio and just general combat skills. I'm if I can make it to the compound, I'm safe because I can handle like being like a teacher or putting together like filtering systems for water, growing food, any of that stuff I can do, but I am an awful fighter. So, and I have absolutely no cardio skills. I'm just the worst at that.
Gotcha.
So, Travis, what about you?
All right. Well, since I'm not a zombie guy, this is what I think. This is what I kind of came up with. Um, as far as location, I think I kind of gotta go with Colin and talk. Like probably the mountains. I'd probably go to the Teton Range. Um, it's over there in Rocky Mountains, off right by Wyoming, Idaho. Is it Idaho? Yeah, Idaho. I probably make bunker there, if you will. My vehicle of choice, I'll probably just stick with my Dodge Ram. I got the Hemi Power 4x4.
Does it have a Hemi? Heck yeah, it has a Hemi.
uh,
Nice.
Traditional, probably just go with the shotgun. I'm not great with shooting and aim, so I need scatter shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd be safe with that. People wise, I think I'd probably go with about 40 to 50. I want that group. Um,
You're gonna use the horde against the horde.
oh yeah, yeah. I do believe in the power in numbers concept, and yeah, I think my biggest obstacle would have to be if I ever had to face a situation where I would have to I guess kill a zombie who I once knew personally.
Mm,
Like, there comes a time where, my mom's a zombie, sibling, a friend, you know,
right.
I wouldn't want anyone else to shoot them, but, at the same time, it'd be hard. Yeah, it's something I know I would have to take care of, but having to do that would probably suck a lot.
Yeah. I need you to all know that I care about you enough that if you were turned into a zombie, I would blow your head off.
That's good to know.
I,
Okay.
I would hope that you would love me enough not to do it, knowing that I'm a big guy and I'm not going to be able to chase you down anyways. You should just be like, oh, let him go. He's fine.
Just let them frolic in the meat fields. I don't know. I wouldn't want. Maybe it's a little silly. I wouldn't want someone else to do it.
And that's the thing. It's like, I mean, like if Maddie became a zombie,
I don't know if I could do it, but I know that like Ryan or Rob could do it for me. So, or you guys. I hope you guys could. I don't know.
oh, I'll shoot Maddie.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent.
Wow.
I mean, I would because I know how I would feel, and I wouldn't want you to have to go through that if you couldn't do it,
Right.
and I wouldn't want you to watch. You know, it'd be like an old Yeller thing behind the barn.
See, I'd be that creepy guy that left his wife in the basement chained to something.
Nice.
Come down there and talk to her. And,
Shaun of the Dead style.
Or in
Yeah.
the barn, and then you spend like the entire season looking for her, and then you just cap her in the face at the end.
yeah, something like that.
Sophia.
See, I would try if my siblings became zombies. I would try and get them to fight like they do right now, and I would like film it and try and like make money off of it when things calm down and society returned.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, because they have the ghetto fights and then they have that world star. Well, this would be zombie fights. It would be awesome if it worked.
It actually would be pretty awesome.
Or if like my brothers were zombies and my sister wasn't, I'd throw her in the middle and see if she could get out alive.
Nice.
Brutal.
Oh yeah, she would beat my ass afterwards, if not kill me. So, yeah. All right. So, what other stuff we got? Oh, actually, I finished season 1 of Z Nation the other day. It was a show I saw once, and then I saw it on Netflix, so I decided that instead of going to work, that watching that all day would be what I wanted to do.
It seems legit. Z Nation, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of, it's got humor into it, but it's kind of like dark and dry humor.
Oh, I love that works.
Yeah, so it was like, haha, this is pretty good. The acting is not quite B-movie style, but there are times where you're just like, seriously? You didn't even say that with a straight face. Come on. Couldn't ask for another take. What the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it. And then I found out they're on like season 3 and Netflix hasn't caught up with it, so I was a little upset.
That's a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah, Netflix is getting on my nerves.
Let me see.
DJ Qualls is in it.
Yeah. And he's the character you hope the whole time that something terrible happens to, just because he looks like a rat bastard.
Okay, no, they're just on season 2.
Oh, they are only on season 2.
Yeah, episode 15 came out Saturday the 19th of December last year, 2015. It's weird to say that now.
Gotcha.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I'll have to believe you then.
If he says that you could take it to the bank, that's what I'm coming across.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll send you guys the link to my streaming site that I prefer.
Hey, I left my tablet in the car. Can you get it for me?
Who's on a motorcycle or an ATV or something?
It's my work phone.
I actually thought that there were some like brakes added to it there for a second.
I got a question.
What up?
Do zombies decay?
Well,
I
obviously.
think it would really depend on
Hey,
what kind of zombies.
From your perspective, do zombies decay? Like, are they constantly falling apart?
Yeah, they should.
I concur.
Especially if we're talking like, if we break it down like we did last time, and we all decided that it was definitely a man-made reason as to why there were zombies. So
Right.
let's look at it like on a realistic scale, like 28 days later, okay?
Okay, I've never seen 8 days.
All right, 28 days later, after 28 days, the zombies started starving to death. And they were starting to deteriorate.
Okay.
There wasn't a true zombie virus because they weren't actually trying to eat people. It was a rage virus, and they were just trying to beat the crap out of people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Kill them. So, I mean, if you look at it like that, yeah, you're going to decay. You're going to have decay. You're going to have starvation. I would honestly be surprised that if it made it to 28 days, because if the human body can only go like what, a week without water.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I think it's the most anyone's ever done is 10 days, but they've had food with water in it.
Gotcha. So it's
like
like
plants or something.
you're looking at like extreme dehydration after 48 hours 48 to 72 hours. You're looking at extreme dehydration. So then at a week, you're going to be pretty immobile. And unless somebody decided, oh yeah, hey, I'm going to feed this zombie myself, you're not looking at the zombie apocalypse taking, like The Walking Dead, where it's what I think they're on like 3 years now.
At least,
Dead.
Yeah.
Like they've done a couple winters, a bunch of summers, so it's kind of like I don't think it would make it that far. I think after about 40 days, you're looking at some pretty decomposed corpses. And eventually they aren't going to walk anymore. They aren't going to be able to move because, the tendons and the muscle are just not going to be there to move it. And
are going to break down.
My whole thought about it is like if zombies are considered a type that would decay, break down, there really shouldn't be any type of battle you really have to do. You just kind of wait them out until they break down and decay.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's another thing I was curious about. With zombie apocalypse, would that be an airborne disease that you contract, or do you actually have to be bit?
Well, the big theory right now is that everybody's infected with it, and when you die, that's when it's a dormant virus, and then when you die is when it decides to come and take over the body and all that. But either way, the human body, it's going to break down. I can't see a parasite or a virus taking over the body and breathing for it and eating for it and doing the day-to-day stuff that, we don't ever think about.
Right.
But
it would have to be the kind of virus that killed every part of your brain except for like the brainstem.
Yeah.
Which would be, I don't know. That seems, I don't know. It's not really that preposterous. Because there's that one guy who, his whole frontal lobe is gone, but like when he plays music, he suddenly remembers who he is.
Yeah, we just watched episode of Bones like that. And he wasn't missing anything, but he couldn't talk, but if he played the violin, he could talk. And you could have a conversation with him as he plays the violin.
Yeah, something like that. I could see how if whatever humans engineered this virus could figure that out to where it didn't kill somebody, but it just reduced them to like primal urges.
Yeah.
But then we're getting into more 28 days later zombies again, though.
Yeah.
So
whole world's doomed then.
Yeah.
So this whole concept of zombies happening then, is this a natural like disease that occurs, or is it man-made?
Dude, it has to be something that occurs naturally that got weaponized.
That's what I would think too.
I was reading some medical journal back in high school because Bork's history class, he forced us to do shit like that.
Bork?
Yeah.
I don't remember him being a history teacher.
Or not history, I'm sorry, health teacher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I flunked that class like 3 times. I think the 3rd time he's just kind of like, look, man, I'm going to pass you just because I hate you. We had to do that like medical article thing. And I was reading about it, how they were like weaponizing, anthrax has been weaponized for a while, but like there was a new strain at the time that they were trying to do that was like it was killing the lab people. Okay. Well, they were like working on it, and I'm just sitting there reading it. I kept reading, and then just recently I was reading another thing about like they're weaponizing like other like forms of it and like so cause like you're gonna get hit with it, but then it's dormant for years, and then like something's gonna trigger it, and then like 1 in 7 of the people that are infected are gonna be hit with it.
Oh,
I was
that'd
just
be
like,
crazy.
oh, but that's what they're trying to do, like as far as like bio weapons now. Not that it has an effect right now, but like let's say like right now we're probably going to be at war with China sometime in the next
Decade or two.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm thinking like the next 7 years, 8 years,
Right.
and if it's not a full blown war, we're definitely going to be seeing some naval warfare or some sort of naval blockade or something.
Yeah.
But let's say we have an enemy like that. Well, why wouldn't we just infect them now, and then when they piss us off, just be like hit the trigger for it, and then boom,
Right.
then something happens. I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, I'm a big believer in like, let's not mess with something that we don't really know the consequences.
Yeah.
Right. No, definitely.
Because I'll be really, really pissed if a worldwide pandemic happened and like, 3/4 of the population's wiped out and our dreams of going and fighting aliens is gonna disappear. I'm gonna be pissed. Because I hope my grandkids are fighting aliens by the time they're my age.
That'd be so awesome.
Sorry. I think that would be awesome. We finally have some peace on Earth because everyone would rally around and start hating the aliens.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a terrible way to get peace, but hey, hate will never go away. Why not hate some like tentacle creature?
Right.
It's definitely going to be a man-made thing. I honestly think it's going to be a mutilated virus, and I call it a mutilated virus because it's obviously not something that we're going to hit that nature's going to hit us with, because everything that nature hits us with also gives us a cure from something in nature.
Right.
So.
Good thought.
So it could be something that we are trying to create to be good, but backfires on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like look at I Am Legend. That's exactly what happened. They were trying to cure cancer, and they were trying to do something good, and then they wiped out most of the Earth. I don't think we should be playing with stuff like that. I think the whole cancers and diseases and plagues and such, I think that's the Earth's way of trying to balance us out, because we are the only species that are actively destroying our environment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. Well, Ram, in your opinion, then, based on the way zombies are perceived in movies nowadays, which movie do you feel most like accurately depicts your thought of zombies compared to the movie that least depicts it to you? Like, if you had to pick the most representable movie and the least representable movie, I don't know what the fucking word is. That word?
I know
We
what you
can
mean.
make it one.
Joey, what's a good word? What word am I thinking of here?
Representative. I think you're saying it right.
So one that depicts it the best in your opinion, and the one that depicts it the worst in your opinion.
The one that's best, I would have to go with 28 Days Later, or 28 Weeks Later. Those two.
I really like those two movies.
I mean, I read the what they were trying to pass as the screenplay for a third one.
Really?
Yeah, and it was just, I think they went too far with it. But the first two, man, even though it happened in the UK, that to me is the most realistic, because that hits every branch of it. I mean, you're going to be worried about, you're going to be worried about yourself. You're going to be worried about others. and you
Yeah.
are definitely going to be worried about, government factions that have broken off from their norm and, have gone rogue.
Yeah.
Right.
And as far as the zombies go, I don't see zombies eating people. I see it more of like a Left 4 Dead kind of. There's a virus. They're not eating people, but they're actively trying to harm people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the end of 28 days later, you see all the government coming back and they're making a stand and they're pushing back the zombies because they're all fatigued and they're all starving to death and dying. And then 28 weeks later, that one dipshit decides that he's gonna get close to one, and then he ends up spreading it to the rest of everybody.
Right.
That's realistic to me.
Yeah.
Because the human heart. I mean, I get it was his ex-wife or wife or whatever, and he had to see her. That's the human heart right there.
Right.
But then the way it spread, that's realistic. The military quarantine, that's realistic. I think that's the best. Those are the best movies that represent it.
About the worst.
The worst. I watched a sea movie that had zombie beavers.
Was it called Zombiever?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I got like 30 seconds into it, and I was just like, "Whoa! I don't think I could do this anymore."
Was it on Netflix?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's it.
That's hilarious.
And yeah, there was another movie I saw that zombie strippers, or strippers versus zombies, or something like that.
That's got Robert Englund in it.
Yeah, something like that. I that was another one I got about 5 minutes into, and I was just like, ugh, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But I think, back to 28 Days Later, every aspect of that movie would be, pretty on par, because the zombies were fast, but they were fast into the athleticism of their host. Like, if you noticed in a lot of those large group scenes, the bigger people weren't that fast. The guys that were in shape, they were fast.
Which, I mean,
Makes
kind of makes sense. So,
I mean, exactly. That's all I'm trying to say. Is the whole movie, the writing, the plot line, it all made sense. It was all, you can connect the dots, cause and effect. So,
Right. It's not like World War Z where suddenly every zombie is Usain Bolt.
right. And let's actually talk about that one, because that's another one. I liked the movie. I hated the book. And I know a lot of people out there are going to be thinking, how can you hate the book? I just did. I don't know. I could not. I finished it, but it was one of those books when I finished it, I was like, yeah, it's going to go on the bookshelf, and I'm never going to read this again. The movie, let's talk about that. Where they specifically where they are attacking the Israeli border wall.
Mm-hmm.
oh, and just piling up.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I don't see something that a being that is supposed to be brain dead coordinating like that.
Right.
And I get a lot of people are gonna be like, well, they're just trampling each other. It's like a stampede. I get that, but they were actively using one another to get over that wall.
Right. It's a little bit more hive-minded than it should be for.
Exactly. I was looking for the word. That's great. Hive-minded. Exactly. And I don't see when the one guy broke his leg and he still got up and started running like full speed. The human body's not meant to do that. It's not made to do that. It would take so much willpower to get up and move through that injury. I don't, and the way he just got up and just started hopping along like nothing, the human body would have just collapsed with the stress of that, and it would have put so much stress on his other limb that he probably would have broke that one too.
Right. A little more accurate if he'd been dragging himself.
Yeah, yeah. What? Sorry, my wife is commenting that I'm an idiot.
Aren't we all?
Russian-
She said Russians can do anything. Apparently.
No. When you have an adrenaline rush, you can do anything.
Mm,
Are you
But do
referring?
zombies have adrenaline?
Have you ever seen Crank?
good question.
I mean, Crank shows that adrenaline can overcome all.
Adrenaline can overcome all.
Could you imagine like a zombie that like just before becoming a zombie like kind of shot up on some like crystal meth? That would suck.
Yeah.
Well, flip that coin. Can you imagine a zombie who just got done taking weed, smoking weed?
A real relaxed.
That would be the most ideal situation to encounter a zombie in, unless he was getting the munchies.
Right.
Then he'd be a motivated zombie. I don't know if I like that idea.
That's hilarious.
Actually,
That's actually.
I
All
do
right, go
keep
ahead.
some Pop-Tarts around, so I'm pretty sure I might be able to get away with that one. Here, have a Pop-Tart. I'm going. Bye.
That's a much better movie than like Warm Bodies. Like I'd rather watch.
That movie
Like a
was
stoner comedy.
hilarious.
Was it?
Hey, I remember that movie.
I didn't watch it. It seemed too ridiculous for me.
It was absolutely ridiculous. But you needed to walk into it knowing it was going to be absolutely.
Gotcha. I was afraid it was going to take itself seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
It started like it was going to take itself seriously, and then right when you're about to turn it off and be like, "What the hell?" It decides that it's going to go way out of its way to make it funny. So yeah, it was good.
Well, damn it. You're the second person to say it was a good movie, so now I guess I'll have to see it.
It's a good movie. You just gotta keep in mind that pretty much all it is Twilight, but zombies instead.
Well, it sounds like it's better than Twilight, though, because
Yeah,
at least it's hilarious.
It's funny. It's a comedy movie.
It's a zombie love story, man.
It's a zombie love story, man.
Yeah, good times.
Kylan,
Yes.
being a movie guy yourself, I want to ask you the same question I asked Graham. What movie depicts zombies to you the best, and what depicts it the worst?
Ooh. I definitely have always been a big fan of the 28 Days Later.
Ooh yeah,
That's a really good one.
we gotta have a movie night then.
Hey, just come on over.
Beer and Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan. As for worst, um, huh, that's a little tougher question.
I know that's why I asked it.
I mean, you're talking to a guy that doesn't really have negative views on movies.
Well, I'm not saying like a movie that sucks, but just in your opinion, what depicts a zombie?
What's the least accurate zombie movie?
Yeah,
Probably the one we were just talking about.
Warm Bodies?
Yeah.
same.
That's the one I'd probably pick, too.
Hey man, if you really want to look at it, Warm Bodies is like you could break it down to like good triumphs evil.
Right, love conquers all.
Exactly.
I don't know. I shouldn't be making fun of it. I haven't seen it. I feel like a poser.
Yeah. Well,
Damn, now I'm gonna have to
can-
watch that movie again.
well, Joey, you can come by and we can all watch it together.
I'll bring cookies.
So,
See, and I'll just be participating or contributing to the reason why we aren't ever going to live through the zombie apocalypse.
Right, unless we all get to the UP, and thanks to our extra layer of warmth.
Just swim across Lake Superior to an island. Quick, guys, tie up to each other, and we'll float. Go.
Right. A bunch of otters.
Lake Superior is so cold.
Oh, I believe it. Lake Michigan is cold, and that's the only one I've ever been in.
I did the polar bear plunge like 15 years ago in Lake Michigan, and then I went up when I was 18, I went to go visit my family up in the UP, and I went swimming, and the water was 33 degrees, and it was like August.
That's ridiculous.
It was. I was trying to like look all cool, like being out there swimming and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, my heart's gonna stop any minute.
It's too cold.
Well, like all my family from Illinois was like, "Oh, that's awesome! Look at them swim." My family from Michigan was like, 3, 2, 1, frozen to death.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but there's actually I was doing some research on that question, and there's a $6 million house right in between. It's like I think it's like 3 miles from the bridge that connects the UP with the mitten of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever it was that originally built it was a cabin, but the dude lived there for 30 years and was tunneling underneath the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like it's like I think it goes down like 12 stories below this house.
Jeez.
And then somebody decided that they were going to knock down this cabin, and they built a 21-room chateau
Jeez.
above it. It was insane. It has its own. It's got a helipad that like it's got a retractable roof helipad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that see the only time I would ever take somebody else's stuff by force would be that place. Where I'd just be like, yep, I'm going to invade it, and I'm going to take over.
Yeah, that would be worth getting into shape to swim 3 miles for.
Well, like, they were, there was another island I was looking at, but this one was it was in between, Ireland and England. It's technically a Scottish, island.
Gotcha.
They were saying... This island goes for about 170,000 pounds, and the reason why it's so cheap is there's only one way to get to this island, and that's by boat. And
Gotcha.
you can only get to this island at certain points in the month.
I've heard of this island before.
Yeah, like they tried to build a helipad, but I guess like a couple different companies lost pilots and helicopters getting there, and it's pretty much fog soaked for like 200 and something days a year.
Oh, gotcha.
It was bad, but like just seeing pictures of it in the sunlight, we're like, yeah, that would be my FU island. If I bought it, I would not want anybody to ever come see me ever,
Right,
or any circumstance.
right. That's why you'd buy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we aren't eligible to buy it because we're American citizens.
Yeah, you gotta love being American sometimes.
You would not believe the things I've encountered on that. I actually did a lot of research for that question because I knew my answer, but I just wanted to go out and like look at stuff and just spend time on my new iPad.
Yeah.
And it was like they're some of the best islands that you could get or that you can actually buy and like live on, and we're talking like 30 plus acres on, are like they're actually Russian islands in the Aleutian Islands.
Okay.
And we're not eligible to buy them because we're American. And it was
We
like
fake our residency.
well, like that's what I was
Become
thinking.
expats.
Like, if you had like endless money, you know how many shadow corporations, like how you could like go about buying it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right, you could open a corporation in Sweden and then have your
Yeah.
corporation buy it.
But that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And you would not believe how many islands there are in the U.S. Like there's a lot of islands that are islands on the Mississippi River.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So
Look it up now.
it was cool. It was cool to look up. So I appreciate the question, even though it was hard, Travis.
What's what I do, man? Joey, I don't want you to feel left out, so I want to ask you the same question about the movie.
Oh, I feel like I would have basically the same answers. I feel like it'd be 28 days later, 28 weeks later would be the best, most representative. And I think that probably Warm Bodies is probably top of my list for least representative. But I feel like Dawn of the Dead is pretty close.
How do you,
Like, it's a great movie, don't get me wrong, but like, I feel like that kind of zombie wouldn't actually be able to work. So
so I'm the only person that feels Zombieland is probably the best depiction of zombie apocalypse.
Yes.
No.
it's certainly the most enjoyable depiction of the zombie apocalypse.
If I'm with a group and someone in my group kills Bill Murray, I'm killing them. That's just how I don't care if it was an accident. Somebody's got to. Either that or they better get real funny real quick.
Yeah.
Well, see, because like I mean, in my opinion, like I do think even though Zombieland was a comedy-based movie, I think it does depict a true concept of what zombies are supposed to be, right? I mean, it's a disease that spread throughout the whole world. They're slow moving, brain. You know, it's logical. I think the worst would have to be that I Am Legend, though, because to me that seemed less like zombies and more like monsters.
Okay.
I mean, like, and it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but isn't I mean, like with these creatures, these zombies, I guess.
I will get on board with you with that one.
Well, because like I mean, they never came out during the daylight, right? They always had to be in like shadows or come around at night.
Yeah, but that was the rabies virus.
Yeah,
It was a modified rabies virus. So that's the only reason I will take your side with the whole monster thing. It's more of a monster movie than I was just using the disease concept of the movie, not the actual.
well, is I Am Legend a zombie movie?
I don't know what it technically is.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The original I Am Legend, and I've seen a lot of movies since I saw that, but I'm pretty sure the original I Am Legend, they were zombies. Or no, I'm sorry, they were vampires.
Yeah, I think vampires is what I've heard
Vampires,
before.
that's it, yeah. Because that was a black and white movie, and I when I think black and white, I'm trying to think back to all the Twilight Zones I've seen, and kind of throws me off there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a zombie movie. That's stupid. I hated it when I thought it was zombies. Now I just hate it more because I know it's zombies.
Oh, Travis.
I appreciate you greatly.
Travis, just know you were very special to me.
Oh, very special to a lot of people.
Your mom and sisters don't count.
Oh, they
'Cause
can.
they have to think you're special.
Yeah.
I think so.
I got a point there.
And Jen says, or Rosie.
Who's Rose?
So, you know who Rosie is.
O'Donnell?
Yeah.
Starts with a P.
Ah, shit.
He just got it. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, Graham, I know the last time you were on the show, you gave a couple websites to where you get your equipment and stuff for your survival packs. Is there any more of those you'd like to share with us?
Actually, I have. I would have to find his web address, but I'm pretty sure. I got a couple knives from a guy named Joe Louis. I think it's Joe Louis Knives is his website.
Mm-hmm.
He makes amazing custom knives. I have a neck knife that was done by him. That was a gift, and it was amazing. I gotta go with Voodoo Tactical. Is another one I really like. And Jeep. Definitely Jeep.
Jeep.
Yeah, I don't think
I have owned many, 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 many Jeeps. I think I'm on 7 now,
Oh wow.
Damn.
and I plan on buying more.
Yeah.
Don't tell Jen.
Okay.
So, yeah, those are just a few.
Yeah. Um. Yeah.
No,
Any
I dig
other?
Voodoo Tactical. I'm on it right now.
They have so many cool things.
Yeah, they really do. Bags, body
So-
armor,
Did
I
you
got
say eggs?
bags with a B.
Oh, you got my hopes up. I'm
Sorry.
before I got giant. I used to have the one of their plate carriers that was just the most comfortable thing in the entire world to me.
Sounds like it.
But AR 500 makes pretty good plates too. I like them. But I don't know how many people out there actually want body armor. So,
Good to know.
um, some equipment. I like Stanley equipment. Like they got these they got a Stanley's got an adventure series where they got like heaters and like cookery for like camping.
Yeah.
I dig them. I have a thermos that they haven't changed the design of since like the 1900 early 1900s, and big fan of all that stuff. So, and it's all stainless steel, so it's pretty baller. Doesn't rust. Worst comes to worst, you can knock somebody out with that thermos.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sent you the link for my buddy Joe and his knives. So
Okay. Okay. We'll definitely have to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
and I got I don't know. I don't anything else you guys want to know or
I don't even know anymore, man. Like you've given me so much information, I just don't even know what to do with it.
You're
well,
right.
I've actually only gone through like a quarter of what I had written down.
No kidding.
But then I get sidetracked into my little zone. So
Well,
yeah,
we'll have
you
to
guys
have you
don't
on again.
understand. Like everybody I know is so tired of listening to me talk about zombies that they're just like, shut up. You guys are like, please go on.
Well, I mean, see, and that's the bonus of being on our show because see, I love learning about shit that I know nothing about, to where Joe is actually learning stuff that he wants to learn about more, and
Yeah.
I don't know, he listens to half the shit anyways when he's on. So, I mean, if you want to come back on, I would have no problem with that.
Hey, that's always good to have you on.
I mean, if there's literally more information you'd love to share, I mean, I have no problem having part 3 at some point in the future.
Absolutely.
You know what? We can even make it after we all have our movie night with the
Oh,
beer
yeah.
and Girl Scout cookies, and then with it fresh in our memories, we can talk about our true thoughts on the shows.
All right, I'm bringing guns then too.
Just in case they come to life, right?
You know, actually, yeah, quick story. The other night I had I've gone quite a while without drinking until I went out with Travis,
I don't blame me.
and I really I grabbed a 6 pack and I was enjoying my 6 pack and my Xbox with my wife when the door opened and the dog chain was rubbing against the door in a way it doesn't do unless somebody's trying to get in the back door.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 4 beers deep after, you know, like 4 years of sobriety. And she's like, go check. I'm like, why the hell do I have to go check? So then I wake up the next morning and she's giving me shit because I left, you know, I got an axe in this room, a sword in this room, you know, and just sitting there like, and she's like, you carried your 9 with you, and I'm like, wow. And why couldn't you handle it? I don't understand.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and I guess I had at one point run outside with the flashlight and tried to find whoever was at the door. And the whole time my dogs didn't even bark, so I'm just sitting there like, there's no one at the door. If the
Right.
dogs aren't mad, no one's there.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, the old lady's like, go, check, now. Fine. But then she has the nerve to give me crap for being prepared for it later.
Right.
So,
Graham, again, dude, I appreciate you coming on, taking
No
the time out today to chat with us.
it's always fun, man.
Yeah, and then we'll throw something together again. Have you come back on, share more of your wisdom, more of the stuff you want to talk to us about.
If it's all right with you guys, I think I would like to go more in depth on some gear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I got no problem with that. I mean, dude, it's like, when you are a guest on our show, we want to do what you want to do.
All right.
Take your shoes off. Tell us what your plan is, man.
Just relax, kick back, grab a beer, and let it out.
Actually, some of the guys from my I guess you would call it my bug out group. The guys that are in on my bug out plan listened to the last show and they thought it was great.
Well, I mean, if one of them want to come on with you,
I'll see if they're interested.
yeah, absolutely, man. They're welcome to come on. If they don't want to come on, well, whatever. You can hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I'll take more bug out bag information anytime.
Rock on.
Well, Graham, thanks for coming on, man. We'll keep in touch and get you on the show again real soon.
Sounds good, bro.
All right, take care.
All right, man. You guys have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. You guys still there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's fun. It's always fun, Graham.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a really good guest.
And
It's nice because he does all of our work for us.
I like it how we filled an hour of airtime, and he says he only went through a quarter of what he.
Yeah,
It's
I was
amazing.
like, oh, wow.
It's truly, I'm like astounded.
Yeah, definitely.
We definitely gotta look into the future and get him back on again because that'll be exciting. Speaking of exciting, Joey, obviously every Wednesday, our viewers or listeners, you will, could find you here at this freaking show. But where can they find you on Saturdays?
On Saturdays, you can find me over at gcl.ninja for the Geekcast Live podcast.
When's season 2 starting up?
We are, I believe, planning to begin recording January 20th. So it'll be the Saturday after that. Let me look here. The 23rd will be the next Saturday that we have an episode come out.
Awesome. I can't wait for that because I have nothing to listen to on my way home from work now.
I'm really sorry about that.
You should be sorry about that.
I am. It'll be good. We've got some huge things in the works. So
That's good. I'm excited to see what you guys have coming up. I'm also excited that obviously you guys have noticed, but we got the new logo up now.
we have.
Yeah. So congratulations to the winner of that. I'm not gonna name that winner though,
Why is that?
because why give myself credit for something? I think what I want to do is, as much as I like the logos that we got in, I just couldn't think of one that I liked enough to want to use altogether.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, and picking out from a group of them versus like, well, it's our show.
Yeah, and I mean, and to be honest, since we are we are a new podcast, we've only been out for a couple months and everything. I feel that people need more time to kind of listen to us, get to know the kind of people we are. So I still want people to try to develop a logo, but I don't want to make it a contest. I don't want to make it a deadline. If people decide they want to make it, hey, submit it. I'll look at it. Maybe it won't be an official logo, but maybe it'll be a logo we'll throw up on on the Twitter or on Instagram or on Facebook or something like that. Here or there just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, we're currently working on our actual official website, so we'll hopefully get that up by the end of the month. So I'm excited for that. And I guess we don't have much more than that going on, right? I mean, I know next week we're hopefully actually getting the band that we're supposed to interview this weekend. So that'll be coming up next week, and then the following week we're doing our Marvel show.
Yep.
Get that jump start on all those new Marvel shows that are coming out.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'll have my co-host from Geekcast Live, Geekcast Base, on.
I'm excited for Rob to come on. I like talking to Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we'll have Rob coming on, and then we actually have two other friends of mine who are fans of Marvel. I wouldn't call them fanatics, but fans. So we'll definitely have a huge group in the upcoming show. So I'm excited for that. Anything else you guys have?
I have nothing. Just look out for our next show.
Perfect.
Yep. I'd like to remind people they can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and a million other places at This Freakin' Show.
Perfect. Well, you heard them, everyone. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter, on Instagram. All you gotta do is search This Freakin' Show. You can find all our podcasts on thisfreakinshow.com. As always, I am Travesty.
I'm Awkward Colin.
And I'm Geekcast Joe.
Thank you for listening to This Freakin' Show. I'm out.